Hey, bartender, I'll have one dinky on the rocks.
Oh, fuck! You say dinky on the rocks? Let me tell you about the first time I ever did drink a dinky on the rocks. I was a rock and roll musician who had it all. Women, cars, mansion on the hills. 3 children, all named Garth. A restaurant chain named Not Your Average Toes, where all the staff had below average toes. I mean, I really had everything. I owned a retirement home, sailed the 8th sea, discovered Oompa Loompas. I once sold milk to a cow that was lactose intolerant, managed a Fortune 500 company that specialized in lard, even discovered the spork. Yeah, my life has been something, but nothing compares to the first time I ever had a dinky on the rocks. I was throwing a party in the hills, and everybody who was anybody was there, right? Jimi Hendrix was conceived in the bathroom at that very party. I'll never forget the circumstances that surrounded the events leading up to my very first dinky on the rocks. The house had been left a mess. Throw up on every wall. All the toilets were overflowing, and an outbreak of the Black Plague had occurred on the 7th floor. And there I was, me, Everett St. Clair, alone at the after party. I was on the 2nd floor. All the windows were closed. The temperature in the house was approximately 3 degrees Celsius. And every mattress in the pad had been placed into the kitchen in a manner that resembled Stonehenge. The residual stench of the place could gag a pony. Lo and behold, there I was, sitting in my living room when I spotted a strange drink in a strange glass that I had never before laid my eyes upon. The glass had been written on, in marker, spelling out the words, "Dinky on the rocks." As I took a sip, I felt my bowels release and all the toxins in my body along with them, and I realized that I had stumbled upon the most magnificent drink ever to be created. The dinky on the rocks.
Oh, yeah, dinky. Hey, brother, what's that you say you're having? I remember my first dinky on the rocks. Oops. I was 24, and I loved gambling. I was always in a casino. And you know what my favorite game was? All of them. I didn't care what it was. I could play it. And my favorite thing to do when I was playing was to drink. So one night, luck was not on my side. I looked down, and my magic juice was empty. So I called the waitress over and asked her to bring me the most lucky and magical drink they have and put it on the rocks.
Right away, sir.
She brought me a dinky. A dinky? What's a dinky on the rocks? I asked her for a lucky drink, not something that'd make me drown myself. She promised me it was a drink I'd never regret. Yeah, whatever, I said. Next thing I know, I'm winning 4 hands in a row. I'm winning a Lamborghini in a raffle. Turns out the Lamborghini belonged to a mafia boss, and I crashed it.
Hey, you crashed my car!
Break his leg!
Destroy him!
You're down, you see?
Now I'm in the hospital. Don't remember much after the 3rd sip. But they say I was found with a dinky in my hand and a smile on my face, as well as 2 severely disfigured legs, as well as alcohol poisoning. I'll tell you boys, it's the best damn dinky I ever had. I'd do anything to relive that first dinky again.
Dinky on the rocks. I don't know, brother. Seems like you might have had enough, and possibly a bounty on your head. Maybe if someone else has a story, it'll make me forget about how dinked up you are, and I'll get you another.
Oh, a story you want, eh? I've got a story for you, crusty-fingered pudding-pushers. It started way back, before I had any hair on my cheeks, back in the war.
Ah, here we go again, another old quack in his war stories.
You better tighten them lips up before I give you something to quack about, boy.
Oi, this guy probably never sipped a stiff dinky a day in his life.
You big sack of goat milk, I've been guzzling down dinkies by the wagon before I even learned the alphabet.
What, last week, eh?
I was taking down dinkies while you were still suckling on your mama's tit, boy.
Hey, brother, how about you show this man some respect? How about another fresh dinky for you, sir? On the house.
I ain't no sir, but yeah, that sounds quite nice.
Perfect. Now let me pour you a glass.
It's okay, fella. I brought my own. You can pour it right down there, fella. It's a straight shot.
Ha! A dinky is a dinky, I guess.
Thank you, fella. Ah, now that's what I call a stiff dinky.
Oi, sorry for the disrespect, old timer. Didn't mean nothing by it. So, how did you get, how'd you lose your leg, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I was back in the war, down in the trenches. There was blood, bullets everywhere. I was a young lad, just a private at the time. My squad leader had just taken a shot and had his nose shot clean off. The bullet took it clean off mid-sneeze. Didn't even have time to say good bless you. It was looking bad, real bad.
I can put it back in.
By this point, nearly my whole platoon had been captured and blown to bits. My sergeant, Sergeant Goose was his name. He looked at me with his bloody, noseless face, and he told me to run. But Private Parts, I didn't run. I was no coward.
Yeah, wait a minute. You mean to tell me your name is Parts? Private Parts?
Yes, fella. What about it?
What a joke!
God damn it! What's so funny?
Hey, man, cover up your eyes. A Private Parts is showing. Yeah!
Oi, Privy, can I get you anything? A drink, a napkin, maybe a pair of underoos to cover you up?
Some dungaroos!
Hey, buddy. Get your hand off my pal here. If anybody's gonna touch Private Parts, it's me.
You boys ought to show me some goddamn respect. I'm a veteran, goddammit.
We're sorry, Mr. Parts. It's just a funny name, that's all.
It's okay, boys. I can take a joke.
All right, my man.
And for the record, I ranked up quite a bit before I got out. So that's Sergeant Major to you.
Oh, damn, really?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Major Richard Parts in the flesh.
Hey, a Sergeant Major Dick Parts out in the flesh.
God damn it, I can't take any more of this shenanigans. I'm going to the John.
Oi, Sergeant Parts, make sure you get to the right restroom. Wouldn't want the ladies to see dick parts in there. What a night, brothers. If anybody needs a stiff dinky right about now, it's that guy. I don't think tonight could get any weirder.
Well, gather round, everybody. Gather round now. My name is Gus Chickens, and I got a story for all y'all. It was back in 1848 when me and my prospector buddy Leonard were heading down the Oregon Trail. Right before I knew it, I was waist deep in a big old pile of quicksand. I say again, quicksand. I started panicking and praying up to a higher power when all of a sudden this little boy Billy come running up to me and he says, Gus, dinky on the rocks. Now, I sure shooting didn't know what that boy was on about, but I pounded that dinky back and got the strength of 10. No, 11, I say, 11 oxen. I pulled myself up out of that sand, realized I was bitten by a rattlesnake. Shit! But let me tell you what, folks, when you're sipping on a stiff dinky, that snake ain't much of an issue, I say again. Boy, that was one stiff old dinky. So as I was saying, bartender, I have one dinky on the rocks. Dirty.
Dinky!
Wow,
Woo!
quite the story. Tell you what, dinkies on the rocks all around, on the house.
Woo!
Dinky! Yeah.
Hey, wait a second. We're out of dinky.
What now?
What? Ah!